All men are created equal is the idea that if it is wrong for one man to commit an act, it is wrong for all men to commit that act. Too often, members of our government exclude themselves from the ranks of equal men, referenced by Thomas Jefferson when he said,
Hello, everybody. This is Craig Hendry with the Hendry channel. I am bringing you all an early morning update today because reasons that I will not articulate here, but I just received a Gmail from Odyssey e-notices, which here in Indiana is the court e-noticing program that they use to notify parties of a case that goes to court. So, as most of you know, I made a video 3 or 4 weeks ago detailing the order that the judge had given me at my last hearing, which was that I shall show up at pretrial release or the probation department, and that I will comply with everything the probation people want me to do. They basically sentenced me before trial to take 4 drug tests, one every week. This is before I've ever been found guilty of a crime. Now, that day, not that day, but that same week I went live, I detailed how I'm not going to do any of that. Like, I haven't been found guilty of a crime. I'm not accused of a crime even. I mean, I've been charged criminally in the court system, but I've never been accused of committing a crime. And I've certainly never been, done anything. I've certainly never committed the crime. The crime that they've accused me of is stalking, which is ridiculous. So anyways, we got this court order here today. I looked at them. I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to assist you guys in what you're trying to do to me. Do something about it. I basically told them, look, if you want to violate my rights anymore, go ahead and throw me in jail, but I'm not budging. And they don't like that. They can't stand that. But I expected a swift response from that. I mean, surely if they think I'm guilty and I'm not complying with pretrial conditions, surely they should lock me up, right? I mean, that's what they think, right? But they know that they're not doing anything right. They know that everything that they're doing is illegal, it's unlawful, and therefore they won't do it. It's been 25 days into January. No warrant has been issued for my arrest. I have not complied with a single drug test. This guy gave me till the 31st. This judge looked at me in the eyes in court and said, I'm getting fed up with you. You're testing my patience. By the way, 44 people in here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's great to be here. Sorry that we're having to do this so early. Maybe we'll get some new people in here. I'm about to show you all the the tab that I'm about to show you all the order that the judge gave me to not, that he just gave me this morning. I just received this morning. I want to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show you all what he said here. So let's take a look. So this is the order. This is what I got in the mail. Okay. So this is an e-notification. There's Craig Robert Hendry right up here at the top left. Case number, State of Indiana versus Craig Robert Hendry. Okay. Now, it says here that we can click the link. So let's click the link. Let's see what it is. Probable cause finding on pretrial violation. Probable cause finding on pretrial violation. Now, I'm reading this. I'm not agreeing to anything that they say in it. None of that. Full disclaimer. So, comes now the court and finds probable cause that the defendant, Craig Robert Hendry, did violate the terms and conditions of the pretrial release in said cause. The court orders the clerk of Vermillion County Circuit Court to: the defendant is ordered to report in person to probation and shall meet with his pretrial supervision officer on July 31st, 2024. They have given me almost a full 6 months that I have to do this by, right? Or prior thereto. And then to report, and then report every Wednesday thereafter at 1:30 p.m. unless authorized to report otherwise by pretrial. If the defendant has already reported weekly for a month as ordered, the weekly reporting may be immediately modified by the supervising officer at the July 31st, 2024 appointment. Well, everybody, I told them they sentenced. I mean, this is a criminal court proceeding, right? We got to keep this in mind. This is a criminal court. Like, this is a felony charge. This carries up to 2.5 years in prison, right? If you're guilty of stalking, it carries 2.5 years in prison, right? I'm not guilty. They know that. I am being persecuted by these people. I'm not the only one, by the way. I am not the only one in this county, in the state, in the country being persecuted for speech. My only offense is offending people's ego. My only offense is hurting people's feelings with my words. I didn't do anything. I didn't threaten anybody. None of that. They're just saying that what I said cannot be allowed to be said anymore, right? And I didn't say anything threatening. Nothing. These people are just monsters. But I looked at them and I said, all right, if you're going to do this, if you're serious and you really think that I did this, just throw me in jail because I'm not doing it. I am not doing the pretrial violations. I'm not doing the pretrial release. I'm not doing the pretrial conditions. None of it. Because all it adds up to, all it is, we look through the nonsense. All we see is a pretrial sentence. We see that a man has been accused of a crime. That man, me, I am swearing by my innocence. I am innocent all the way. The judge won't allow me to disclose any information to you. That's what they said. The judge said, he put a gag order on me. That was what my last live stream was about. And then he put this pretrial sentence on me where he sentenced me to punishments before I had ever been even tried for my charges. So that's illegal. That's a violation of habeas corpus. It doesn't matter if a judge is doing it. It doesn't matter. If a public official is violating your rights, they're violating your rights. Point blank, period. That is it, right? And so when this judge started violating my rights, I recognized it and I did not comply because I will not comply with tyranny. And after that, oh gosh, goodness, guys, I'm sharing the wrong screen here. Sorry about this. I want to share the right screen with you all. Let's see here. Yeah, I just read the thing without all right. So we are in here. We're going to get over to where I can see it. I don't know how all right, so hopefully everybody can read that. But yeah, guys, Hunter Reese ordered me to show up and take these drug tests as a punishment. As a punishment. He ordered me to show up and take drug tests. By the way, the crime isn't even drug related. Like the charge that they've accused me of, it's not even drug related. It's not even remotely drug related. I mean, it's crazy. But this guy is saying to me that I need to go take drug tests. I didn't do it. Like, I'm not going to do it. I won't ever do it. And because I'm not going to help him violate my rights. That's the thing. People get violated by the police, and then they expect a judge to uphold their rights. And then they kowtow to the judge. They show him all the respect in the world. That yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, your honor, no, your honor. And this is how the judges repay us. They are in bed with police. They love police. When a policeman is up on that stand, that's their drinking buddy, right? That's their buddy that's going to come to their son's birthday party. All right. He is not going to give you a fair shake. This guy blatantly just tried to say, screw you, Craig Hendry. He did it with a polite voice, right? He did it with a polite demeanor. But his the substance of his actions were he was telling me to do something. And if I didn't do it, there was an implied threat. And the threat was that you will be sent to jail, right? Well, I said it. I mean, and everybody should say it. When faced with tyranny, you should always say it. Screw you. I'm not doing it. I will not do it. I won't budge. And that's exactly what I did. And now this guy gives me an extra 6-month extension on to follow his order. He said, you didn't follow it. I gave you 4 weeks, but you didn't follow it. Now I'll give you 24, 30, 28 more. No. Like, I save your orders. I'll keep my free will. I'll do exactly as I please you. But go ahead and keep your orders for me, because that's something that I can do without for sure, right? Why don't you put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me? So, no. Yeah, exactly. Rich Spillman, the emperor has no clothes. Right, they are afraid. Right, and we got some yeah, John Speedway. Yeah, exactly, man. Trolls just add to the algorithm. So thank you for being here, every troll that's in the chat. I see all the ones. I'm glad that I have agreements with the chat, and that's the thing that I love. We are a bunch of sane individuals, right? We realize tyranny, we realize sanity, and what's going on here is a whole lot of tyranny, and zero sanity. What I did though is I forced them to wake up. I forced them to snap out of it. I said, look, you guys are talking a big game, but I'm actually going to make you go do it. And they didn't do it. Now, this could be one of two things, right? It could actually be real, and the judge could actually be whimpering, whining, and asking to give me 6 more months to comply with his tyrannical sentence that he has given me before I've ever had a trial. Maybe he's hoping that the trial will occur before then so that I'll be found not guilty, but it's really hard to tell what his strategy is unless it was a typo. Now, it says it 2 times in the order that it's July. It's supposed to be July that I go report. It's January now. So it says it 2 times. That's a pretty big typo if that's a typo. But I also wanted to give a shout out when we did go live and we did announce that we were going to be violating this judge's tyrannical orders, which is a non-order because anything in violation of the Constitution is null and void in itself. So it's a non-order, it's an illegal order, meaning that if I followed it, I would not be doing my constitutional duty as a citizen of the United States. I have to refuse this order. This is my patriotic duty to refuse a tyrannical order, right? It's better to live on your feet, it's better to die fighting than it is to live on your knees. And that's exactly what I intend to do. I do not intend to live on my knees with these people. Do your civic duty has brought this up. Will the prosecution be able to bring this up and use this against you during trial? I don't know this channel. I've never seen it before. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a prosecutor trying to shed doubt or put doubt in my mind about this. No, I mean, the prosecutor can't use this against me in trial because this is me not incriminating myself, but pointing out, in fact, to the contrary, that they're incriminating themselves. So if they wanted to bring it up in trial, I guess they could. I mean, like, they bring it up every court date because the judge is going to allow them to hear it or allow them to say it. But no, I mean, nothing. No jury is going to be swayed one way or another because I went live on YouTube. But yeah, so like, thank you for everybody joining. I'm seeing we got a few new people in here. We went early. We went live early because we want to avoid disturbing some people. We also want to get it out of the way because if we don't get it out of the way now, it might not ever get out. That's the thing. I have to tell you all this information as I get it. I got this email that I told you all about. I got it. I just read it 45 minutes ago. It has to get out right now because if it doesn't get out, it may never get out. They will lock me up. They will do all this stuff to me. And I'm going to tell you, I suspect the reason they didn't lock me up is because I went live last time and I told you all. I said, these people are doing illegal things to me. They put a gag order on me and they're threatening me that if I don't comply with their orders, They will do things to me. And your response to that scared them so much that they decided to nip their tyranny in the bud temporarily. They stopped it just temporarily. And they decided to extend an olive branch, wherein they gave me a 6-month extension to comply with their tyranny. Well, I won't do it. They can save their order, like I've said. As a matter of fact, if the judge is watching this, if the prosecution is watching this, go ahead, revoke the order you just sent me. I will not comply. I will not ever comply with this tyranny, ever. If you're thinking that I'm gonna comply with the drug test in 6 months, that maybe my lawyer can talk to me, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do it. You should just revoke it and put out the warrant for my arrest already, because it's not going to come. It's never gonna happen. All right, so I think I've said that to you guys enough that it's never going to happen. Hopefully, that somebody that's relevant to this court case can see it, and we can get some good eyes, maybe get some change going on in this court case. Because, guys, like I say, I am being maliciously prosecuted. Just because we're live, I think that I will get it up and show you all what I'm being prosecuted for and maybe explain it a little bit more. They said that I can't give out any information with regards to the discovery, but they didn't say that I can't share my own YouTube videos. So that's what I intend to do. I'm going to share a YouTube video that I made a few months ago. And this is what precipitated the arrest. So this video here, I ran a report on a corrupt Democratic mayor in a small town called Clinton, Indiana. I'm going to share the screen again. Oh, we got it right there. So we can just go right here. Boom. All right. So I need to make sure that the audio is on. Let's see. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the second video here, the secondary video? All right. Thank you for letting me know that. We're going to go ahead and get that fixed. Like I say, guys, we got like hiccups in live streaming. Unfortunately, I wish it was extremely smooth, but it is not. So we're going to share this. We're going to share the audio. This should be good.
There's no building not going on the city property from then on. Record that to all this property, some developers. Do you automatically record that to also that developer is responsible from then on?
Yes. We give them a deed. They get a deed and it's recorded here.
So there's no building not going on the city property before it's turned over to the developer?
No.
That is the attorney for the city of Clinton in Indiana. And everything you just heard him say was an absolute lie. He is currently being questioned by Vermillion County Commissioner Tim Yoakum.
My question is, has the city had anyone build units on their property before the...
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
The commissioner is asking about these properties. The houses on them were built by contractor Timothy Cottrell, while the city still owned the properties. This allowed the contractor to avoid the cost of such inconveniences as buying the land and paying property taxes, which is probably why Scott Craig is feigning ignorance about them. But he then claims to be knowledgeable about the very area that all this happened on.
That area down around Feather.
I want to jump in and say that what I did was I actually pointed out in this video official misconduct. The mayor was providing favors to his friend, and it was contrary to zoning law in Indiana. which is a crime. I believe it's a felony. And yeah, instead of charging the people that I provided proof committed a crime, they charged me with stalking the person I did the report on, or a person close to the person I did a report on. And I'm going to go into more detail and explain a little bit more about that later. But let's keep going with the video. Again, anybody new, this is the video I was charged with stalking after creating. I was charged by a political ally of the public official that I ran this story on. We're going to go ahead and keep watching.
Creek in Clinton. There's a lot of parcels down there, and most people weren't paying their taxes on them because they were worthless parcels of land. So we had a lot concentrated there in that North 6th Street, North 7th Street, North Street area. Most of those now have either been gone through the tax sale. There's a couple of people who still live down there, and they do pay their taxes.
So he is aware of the properties, but at the same time, unaware of them. Now, I'm sure you all are thinking, why does this matter? If government officials are speaking, most often they are lying. As true as this lie affects real people and also shows to an extent the lack of accountability for government officials and their close friends. Let me give you some background. In the early 2000s, a man named Kevin Kiger bought almost a whole 2 blocks of properties with the hope of building a home for himself and his offspring. When Kevin went to the city to get a building permit, he was told by Mayor Jack Guilfoyle and 2 of the mayor's predecessors that he would not be able to get a permit for that land because it is in a flood zone. After Kevin realized that he would not be legally allowed to erect a building on his own property, he judged that the property was worthless to him. As a result, Kevin stopped paying property taxes on the now worthless land. The city then took the property from Kevin for delinquent taxes and allowed Timothy Cottrell, a local contractor and friend of the mayor's, to start construction on the same property they just told Kevin he couldn't construct on. On top of that, they let the mayor's friend build while the city still owned the property, which allowed the mayor's friend to avoid property taxes and possibly liability, contrary to the lies attorney Scott Craig told at the county commissioners meeting.
If you sell this property to some developer or something, do you automatically record that to all of a sudden that developer is responsible from then on?
Yes. We give them a deed. They get a deed and it's recorded here.
So there's no building not going on the city property before it's turned over to the developer?
No.
Let's get into the... So guys, then I go on and I break down the evidence that I have showing all this stuff. And if you'd like to go watch that, the title of it is When a Small Town's Mayor Gets Caught in a Scandal. It's my channel. So you go ahead and check that out and you'll see what they charged me with. But right after this happened, a political ally of the mayor charged me with felony stalking. All right. Now it was the mayor's assistant that wrote up a false affidavit saying that she felt threatened, frightened, intimidated, or whatever. I don't know. It's a stalking statute. She wrote up a false police report, her and one other person. And that's why initially they charged me with 2 counts of felony stalking. But whatever judge saw that first, I don't think it was Judge Hunter Reese, whatever judge saw that first smacked down those 2 charges, and the state had to revoke them. They had to bring them back. So at some point there were 2 people saying that they felt this way, but now apparently there's only one. That one person was the person that worked in the mayor's office. This is a mayor's office employee. I was investigating the mayor, right? So if I'm like having questions about a mayor or about a mayoral issue, who do I go to about it? You go ahead and put that in the comments. But anyways, shortly after that, Bruce Ackerman, who is a Democratic ally of the mayor, he's the same political party. He goes to all these meetings with him, yada, 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 yada. During an election cycle, by the way, charged me with felony stalking on their behalf. They pushed the charges through, and now I'm being dragged through court. Anybody who's just coming in, after they pressed the charges on me, they arrested me. I served 13 or 14 hours in jail, and this was in November, I want to say. And then after, the judge released me on my own recognizance, but with a pre-trial sentence. Before you go to trial, you shall comply with sentencing. This is what the judge told me. I refused, right? I looked at this guy in the eye. These are the worst people in the world. These are the people who can look you in your eye and separate you from your kid. These are the people who can look you in the eye and order that the rest of your life be served in a 12-by-8 cage, right? No exaggeration. These are the worst people in the world. I looked these people in the eyes and I said, do something about it. I'm not going to comply. I'm not doing it. Everybody should do that. I wonder what they do if everybody did that. I wonder how they would react if everybody said, you want me to move? I'm not budging 1 inch. And that's what I did. Everybody should do that. I encourage you to. In this particular case, so we've got 95 people, almost double what was in here when we first made the announcement. In response to me saying no to their order, they ordered me to drug test once every week. Once every week for a stalking charge. I said no. I didn't go drug test once. I drove home right past that courthouse. I didn't stop there one time, and I won't stop there one time because it's tyranny. It is absolute tyranny. Anyways, in response to me not doing a damn thing that they said, not one single thing, I've even been out past my curfew. All right. In response to that, the judge issued an order. Probable cause on pretrial violation. The defendant is ordered to report in person to probation. Now remember, I haven't been sentenced. And shall meet with his pretrial supervision officer on July 31st, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. or prior thereto. And then to report, and then report after every Wednesday thereafter at 1:30 p.m. unless authorized to report otherwise by pretrial. If the defendant has already reported weekly for a month as ordered, the weekly reporting may immediately be modified by the supervising officer at the July 31st, 2024 appointment. They literally gave me like 6 months, 7 months, people. Like it was 7 months from the date of the order. I didn't comply. I'm not gonna. I think I could. I'm not gonna. And I'll tell you why, because it's tyranny. I won't do it. Wake up, people. We live in a tyrannical society, right? If we don't stop saying no, they're going to walk all over us every single time, right? We got these people out here who claim to be activists. They claim to stand up to them. They sit down as soon as that judge tells them you may be seated. Not me. Goodness me, not me. I mean, I show up in presentable attire to court, not to respect the court, but to respect any of my supporters that may show up to see me. I want to be dressed well if I meet any brilliant people on a certain day. And that's exactly who they are. Every time I meet a supporter, every time some brave soul shows his support for me in a government courthouse, every single time I meet a brilliant person. And every single time I get an email from somebody that supports me, somebody that supports the cause in general. Maybe they don't like what I do, but they support the cause. Brilliant people. But the people that I see in this courthouse, the people that I say no to, they're scum. They are the scum of the earth. It's dangerous for me to say that. But I say it nonetheless. Because I'll tell you what, people need to hear the truth. And I know the truth. I mean, trust me. It may seem like I don't know the truth, but if you've never been through the criminal justice system and just taken a look at it from the inside out, man, you don't know the truth. I do know the truth. I've been through it. I've observed it. I've studied it. Take it from me. This system is corrupt. It's criminal, but not in the sense of criminal justice. It's criminal in the sense that what they do to people is criminal, and what they're doing to me is criminal. And maybe someday we'll hold them accountable. I know that this came right after we filed suit on January 9th against Lake County. We filed a lawsuit against Lake County. That went on lackluster. We made it on lackluster a few weeks ago about the Lake County lawsuit. and I posted on my second channel just a little preview of what's to come for the Vermillion County prosecution team, because what they're doing is illegal and they know it. But with that being said, everybody, I had to get this out there. I had to get you all the update. Nobody is better off not knowing this stuff. Everybody's better off knowing the truth about the country we live in. And guys, I mean, what day is it going to stop? This has been going on for years and years and years, right? Hundreds and hundreds. I mean, legal systems have been around for years, people. They've had mock trials, hundreds of years, mock trials, and they hang people. And that's what they do. It's what they've always done. When is it going to stop? When are we going to stand up one day as a collective, stand up to these tyrants and say, you're not going to do it anymore? And we aren't going to do it anymore. None of us. We're not going to have these nonsense trials. We're not going to have this legal system backed by state authority. We don't agree with state authority. The only way to work things out is market forces, where people are incentivized to do good, because if they don't do good, nobody will buy their services. That's what we have to do. But you know what? We'll get there one day, guys. I'm losing a few people in the chat. I don't want to waste anybody's time or bore anybody. I feel like I've gotten it out there. If you missed what was going on, please rewind it. This is an important announcement. So we will see you later. Look forward to seeing more content from Hendry and from CH and Ty. We're going to bring CH and Ty back at some point this year. I don't know exactly when, but we are going to bring CH and Ty back. So, guys, look forward to that. We will see you all later. Stay strong, stay free, and stay vigilant. Do not let these people take your freedom easily. Bye-bye.